rare Saturday. Felt like the short one the other day and the coughing one the day afterwards. So. More than enough justification for a new one. Okay, so we're just going to have a look at particles. I think what we need to do is, as always, D-nodes is always preferred for these things. Don't ever say otherwise. Nobody wants to resort to proving somebody wrong, do they? So let's all just agree that D-nodes is preferred and we'll all get along nicely. So there's your exhaust smoke kind, and it's all the same. You can create your own, and we'll do a tutorial on that one day, but it won't be during vehicles because it's too far off piste. Truck exhaust, got an exhaust truck radiator. There's not one on our truck yet. And what we need to do, a roadmap, don't we really? Should have done this in the beginning, but it never works out that way. But this time, so we're going to do exhaust and exhaust particles. I'm sure there's some other engine particles, etc. Then I think we need to look at attachments, general attachments with a user action, i.e. side plate on the truck. Look at that. And then it's the big boys, damage on the main chassis, then damage on the individual parts, i.e. force. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. We've still got a lot to go, and after that we will look at gear box and diffs, and then finally probably third axle. Oh wow, look at that, how that turned out. Third axle. So we've got all to go really. I'll just put that down here. Right, so this is where we need to be. Exhaust, sorry, here. Okay, so PTC, particle exhaust end. If you find something with PTC, it means particle ordinarily, and it gives you tips on if you read it. So we've got exhaust end and exhaust start. Exhaust particle pulse is exhaust end. So at the end is where it starts coming out the exhaust. Obviously where it starts is the start. Vector start there, okay. Now you could rewrite and override scripts at your will. We're not going through that today. I'm not a scripter, but I do dabble. And where I've learned how to, I'll pass on that information in tutorials. Okay, so looking at that, we need something called a, and it wants to be about here, insert. Now can you see where that is in relation to where we think it is, and where it's definitely not when it's supposed to be there? If we think it's there and it's there, now we're getting somewhere near now. Can you see that? all this. That's going to be our new particle exhaust start. We now need an end to it. We need an end to this rubbish. Okay. We'll insert another there, which will equally be nowhere near it should be. Put it there right at the end for better accuracy. I think that's the exhaust there, so I'm going to put it there. I'm also going to put the end on the end there and there. And now we need to name that particle exhaust end. Save. I'm going to pack that up and I'll see you in the game, and we'll see if the exhaust is coming out where the pipe is. And if it is, we'll call that a successful attempt at making an exhaust. Right, I'll see you in game because so we're needing some exhaust smoke around here, aren't we? What we're needing. If we don't get it, I'm going to restart this video and pretend I knew what I'm doing. Look at it, it's moving. You see that, how it's moving? With my handbrake on. Got work to do there on the weightage. Oh yes. Just remember how to yeah, we could go a bit further on with the exhaust actually. Although if you look where it's blank, it seems perfect, doesn't it? It's not enough blow on that exhaust, is there really, if you think about it, because it started going that way a bit easier. I think it'll be going out with enough force when you reverse. It doesn't come forward like that, but that's not how we're doing it at the minute. So yeah, so that was exhaust. That was pretty quick, pretty good, pretty nice. It worked very well. Like I said, in a future tutorial I'll show you to make your own exhaust, and even more. 2 exhausts or 5 exhausts, doesn't matter. Now I'm just going to start that a bit further, like there. I'm going to move that on a bit. From what I saw, that's what it needs. Right, this truck doesn't need a radiator, but I just think there's the other car script. So let's just see if PTC is relevant anywhere else. And it is. It's got a PTC engine pulse. I think when your engine dies, it gives off smoke, doesn't it? And the coolant pause, refill, drown engine, damage zone engine. So all our damage zones, if you remember in future, have to go, at least those do, in the memory position. Otherwise it'll make them up. You've got a coolant pause, that's the steam from the radiator, isn't it? So okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to put them all in. I'm going to start it without any water and stuff. I don't believe this truck has anything to do with the radiators, does it? Engine coolant, engine coolant. Right, so our engine is going to be, for the purposes of this, I'm going to have it somewhere at the front line there, aren't we? Insert that, happy with that being in the middle there. Maybe it'll be under there somewhere, really. You know what I mean? But we'll have it, given the dashboard's there and there's all that covering, we're going to have ours there. So we're going to define that as particle engine pulse. Cashier number 5. We'll have a coolant pulse. Say, I don't think this one has a radiator. So we'll insert a new pulse. Insert a new pulse over here. Don't know why we ended up all the way over there. Is that engine pulse? Anyway, do a quick move there. Let's have a coolant pulse up there. Engine pulse is there. That must be our light, so I would imagine, yeah. Save that there. Refill. Now, if you don't get that, you won't be able to refill it. We'll have a refill point, which is going to be, I mean, there's no obvious thingy on this, is there? Fill point. Look at the actual model itself. Let's have a look, see. Is there an obvious point where the fuel goes? I don't believe we've got a fuel tank. Now, some of you are good enough to make a fuel tank there, aren't you? You know what I mean? Question is Dino's good enough? I'm gonna do it. You're gonna watch. You're gonna suffer watching me do it, I'm afraid. Let's create a box like that. Let's put it up against there. Let's unselect them, raise that on the YZ, up there, something like that. Okay, now let's grab that box. And this one, we want it the opposite side from the exhaust. I want it about there. About there. Unselect them. Lock on the XZ. Bring it over a touch like there somewhere. Have a look in there. And there's our little fuel canister. Now you might be asking, how the hell do you fill that up, Dino? Well, if we're going to fill it up, we may as well, first of all, lower it a second. Let's lower it a bit there, see how that looks. It'll do us, won't it? Tell you what we'll do, we'll lower that. We'll lower that too. There. I think now we've created a nice little fuel thingy. So what we'll do, we'll give it the same texture as that has. E. Copy that. E, put it in there. Right, okay. Like that. Filter by main texture. Is that one. Select by selection in the model. Shrink that right down here. Shrink it down. What we'll do, we'll just place it on that bit of the texture for now. Yep, and we go in, it should all be yellow. There we go, got a nice little view. Now if you want to, you put a nice little pipe in there. This is a tutorial, not for modelling, you know, but for us, it'll be a fuel tank. So now, when we go in the memory log, you can find that fuel tank here, press insert, bring it up here. bring it outwards a little bit, about there. So we're in the middle of the tank, around about the same height as the tank here, see, just sticking out a bit. And we're going to call that refill. And that's the fuel pause where they will refuel. Save. Okay, so we're going to have a look at this wagon now. We also need a battery and things like that, but we're going to do that. Have I put it right here? Attachments we do, so that's 5. Attachments general, so that's next. So next we're doing battery. We're going to look at radiator. We might fit a radiator to this truck, I'm not sure yet. Okay, and just two truck, that's where we need to be. Yeah, first of all, let's just go and see if it'll refill we out. Sometimes in this geometry here, you also need a component in there. However, something's changed. When I used to look at it, refill here was always a component as well. So let's just find in files that, see how many of the entries there are for refill. There, continue action, fill brakes. I think that's just yeah, that's just after we've done this bit that we just looked at. So get refill point pos WS. So we search that in files now. That'll tell us what it's looking for. And it should just say that refill bit where we've just been. Return model to world. That's the position on the model in the world. Fuel pos, and it's there refill. So it's only looking in the memory anymore. It's like they've stopped all the others. And we have a drown engine. Self-explanatory. That's the point at which your engine starts making a mess of itself because it's in the water this deep. So we'll insert a point up here. We're going to do it about that eye. I'm not going to do it in here, so I'll delete that immediately. I'm going to do it in the memory log like everybody else. There. I'm going to call that drown engine. I'm not going to spell it properly. Okay. So those are the other ones. I'm not sure for now that we need radiator in, so I'm not going to put it in. I'm going to look at that when we do the attachment for battery and radiator. Just want to have a look at this because it took me a long time to load in. I'd rather have it be Afghanistan there. Right, I'll see you in game. Okay, I managed to change it back to Afghanistan map. There's no Afghanistan map, it was my old Armour 3 Afghanistan layout. Oh yeah, so what we'll do, we will get a battery for this thing, fuel. So we'll get a canister of fuel. Objects, gasoline, isn't it? Thank God for zombie. Yeah, look, it's not accepting it. I bet you we do need that slot in the frigging. Wow. I used to be synonymous for this, you know. Radiators and bloody refueling. People used to say, can't find a refuel point. so that's rubbish, isn't it? Let's just do something else here. View geometry, let's go old school. Create a box. Shrink it down. Put it roughly where the little dot is from the memory lot. Call that refill. And find components. Save. And I'll pack that and I'll see you back in game. Okay, we're back. Let's see if we can perhaps get this bloody thing to respond to our needs. Yeah, so you need that geometry still. I'm not sure what the other things would be, but like the doors and stuff we already went through, that we really do need that kind of thing. I wonder if we can see fuel going up there from this view. Normally you don't get to see those needles. Look at it there, it's just above there. I don't know if they register. Let's start it up. Well, let's get in, I mean. It's roughly there. There's no battery in. Let's just get out. Let's spawn them. Let's just put that down a minute. Some fuel in it, not a lot. Battery. Car battery. Is it a car battery or a truck battery we have on it? Can't remember, you know. We put on there, yeah, it's truck battery, isn't it? For obvious reasons, but I'll be honest with you, I didn't see any reference, so I think I could have safely assumed, though. Not that this is going to fit right away like that. We've got a little bit of fuel. We haven't put any water in. This doesn't need a radiator, does it? So it won't steam. Test it online soon. What's happening is I'm only doing this offline because these things I'm testing now. The battery, putting the battery on needs to be online, refilling needs to be online, but the exhaust particles is alright online or offline. So yeah, so that's refill there. We don't need a radiator on this because it simply hasn't got one. Let's just have a look at the other trucks. Truck on. Let's have a look at that. What has it got in it? The thing is, right, yeah, just batteries. It looks like they're starting to skimp a bit on unless that's what happened with these. Wooden longs take time. See, we haven't defined these to go on this wagon, are they yet? We need to do like proxies and stuff. They should go in the wagon GUI, wherever the yeah, they'll just go in there, alright. They should go in there when we haven't defined them as attachment yet. We've created the GUI, so don't panic about that. But yeah, so that's a little insight into particles. Now, could we potentially get some water, find some water? Where would we find water down here? But anyway, ground engine works. We're not rev. Look, the engine's getting deaded. There you go, we weren't revving it. We weren't out revving it with a drown engine. Uh-oh. So yeah, that is particle effects, exhaust, and memory positions for refill and drown engine. So next is our roadmap gone. So next is the general attachments like battery and such. So I think we'll put our battery under the seat, somewhere in here or on that side, down in there somewhere. Oh no, we'll put it, I'll tell you where we'll put it. Put it beside the fuel, on the rack outside the fuel there. We'll put it in the fuel or the exhaust. Let's have a look. Yeah, we're going to put it just, we put it above there, will we? Okay, so our battery, we're gonna reduce that thing there. I'll press XY. Reduce that by half. We're going to put the battery there. Okay, so that's Sunday evening. This was a little bonus. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you for that. Thank you for the support. If you are enjoying it, let me know. I've had no feedback yet, and feedback's always nice. Bye bye for now.